Live from the heart of America, I am Steve Gruber, ready to deliver an inclusive, diverse discussion. We're going to cover the most important topics of the day today, giving you the better analysis than anyone else. That's what I'll do for you today, and put a spotlight into the darkness of the swamp and everything else. Here are three big things you need to know right now to start your day. Number one, the California Reparations Panel is demanding an apology from the state for slavery, which was never legal there in the first place, and a down payment to black people. They want it now. Number two, Bud Light continues to collapse and could soon be replaced as the top-selling beer in America as a result of reverse cancel culture for its ill-advised advertising effort with a transgender influencer. And number three, I sit here at my desk each night. I try to decide what is the most important thing I can tell you to start your day. Every day I think about that. And with the avalanche of failures by Joe Biden and his ever more incompetent team, it is sometimes a tough call. So far this week, we've discussed the hidden collapse of American hospitals that is being driven in large part by terrible government policies and by insurance companies and others making bad decisions that have already forced 200 hospitals to close down, with hundreds more sitting on the edge of economic failure. I've covered the border extensively as Title 42 is about to be lifted and tens of thousands of illegals are expected to flood into the country with little, if any, background checks at all. And I was going to start there again today, but then I saw the most remarkable jaw-dropping testimony on Capitol Hill that clearly shows the deep reach of Chinese propaganda into this country, and far worse, its impact on those working in the Biden administration. I mean, I can't decide if this is blatant incompetence or a willful pursuit of a cult-like mentality, turning the Green New Deal into a fanatical religious following by those serving in the Biden administration, and having millions more that have been sucked up into the vortex of just trusting everything they're told. It's climate change. It's climate change. First of all, let's look at this. Portions of Michigan's Upper Peninsula were pummeled with more than 30 inches of snow to start this week. It's May. All right? That's right. It appears that places like Marquette, Sault Ste. Marie are several feet above average for the year. From what I can tell, Marquette is like 7 to 8 feet above average. The same is true all the way across the country in California, where they've had the biggest snowpack in years. In fact, all the doom and gloom predictions about Lake Mead and the from climate change has been silenced, as the drought conditions all over California from climate change have ended. That's right, there's no drought in California today. Zero. Weird, considering the Green New Dealers were telling us they would soon be in a once-in-a-thousand-years crisis. Wrong again. And when Ivy and I visited Santa Fe, New Mexico a month ago, all the locals told us it was the most snow that area had seen in more than 20 years. It's all very weird. Consider the climate radicals that are ramming EVs down our throats while demanding gas stoves and air conditioners be outlawed have been screaming for years that our kids would not even know what snow was because they would almost certainly never see it. They wouldn't see snow. In March of 2000, David Viner declared the whole world that within a few years, snow would no longer occur. Gee, Dave, you may want to phone the folks in the Sierra Nevadas or Marquette, Michigan, unless the power is still out there from the massive amount of snow, just saying. Anyway, so there I was listening to a Senate hearing where Josh Hawley of Missouri was asking some pretty simple questions of our Interior Secretary, Deb Haaland, who is among those being the most aggressive in pursuit of destroying American energy because the planet is so warm, Michigan's getting 3 feet of snow to start May. It was truly a remarkable exchange, caught my attention. Senator Josh Hawley totally trashing Secretary Haaland for her complete ignorance about the Green New Deal and what it all really means. Listen to this.
On the subject of these sweeping mandates related to electric vehicles that the Biden administration has imposed, including now for our military, the metals needed to make the lithium-ion batteries in those vehicles are, of course, lithium, nickel, graphite, and cobalt. Now, can you tell me what nation is the largest producer of refined lithium in the world?
No, I can't.
It's China. Can you tell me which nation is the largest producer of refined cobalt in the world?
No, Senator.
It's China. Do you know what nation is the largest exporter of natural graphite to the United States globally?
No, Senator.
It's China.
Okay.
So in all of these instances, these mandates, your decision to trade off our energy security in favor of a radical climate change agenda is making us more and more dependent on China. And at the same time, You are denying mining, blocking permits for mines in this country that would allow us to develop nickel and copper and cobalt. Why? Why block the development of these resources in our own nation in favor of making us dependent on China?
Senator, are you referring to the Boundary Waters?
I'm referring to the Twin Metals mine in Minnesota. I think that Senator Bross was just asking about.
Yes, near the Boundary Waters, which is an iconic place and, of course, a very valuable ecological system to many plants, animals, species.
She has no idea about any of it. Nothing about any of it. That's your Interior Secretary. Holland's indefensible positions then showed her total disregard for American families and jobs, while endorsing the destruction of the American energy sector. How the hell did people that hate America so much ever get into positions of power? That's what I don't understand. It's really remarkable. Here's another part. You need to hear this too. Listen.
Jobs for blue-collar workers in this nation are valuable resources. The livelihood and well-being of American families are valuable resources. The ability of America to have our own industry and not be dependent on China is a valuable resource. Why should those things for millions of Americans be sacrificed in favor of your agenda for radical climate change?
Senator, I know that there's like 1.9 jobs for every American in the country right now, so I know there's a lot of jobs.
Wait a minute. You're telling me we've got too many jobs in the country?
Well, I'm saying that we don't have enough people. That's why we are having a hard time finding folks to work at our department. But
you're telling me that we have too many jobs for blue-collar work? Have you seen the number of jobs we have lost in this country to China in the last 20 years? Do you know where those jobs come from? Over 3 million jobs have gone to China. Do you know where those jobs have come from? They've come out of Midwestern towns like the ones I represent. They are blue-collar workers, and you're sitting here and telling me that we have too many jobs in this country? Are you serious?
Are you serious? Sadly, Senator, she is serious. Seriously underqualified for the job. Seriously deficient in her knowledge of what the job should entail. Seriously incompetent. Yes, Senator, she's serious. A serious problem for this country. She's not the only one. In fact, there are far too many just like Deb Haaland. Interior Secretary who has no idea that, all these heavy metals come from China. All these things come from here and there and everywhere. Really? Yeah, really. Really. And these are the same people telling you the border is secure, of course. The same people, which why would you believe them on the border? I mean, they tell so much truth on climate change. These are trustworthy individuals. Why don't we just invest all of our faith in these people? Hold that thought. I'm going to take a break. I'll be back on the Steve Gruber Show. Good to have you.